Hello and welcome to Love Hate Films, a show all about films, good, bad, and indeed dark. It's your bit. Wait, what are you doing?
What are you doing? What have you got that on for?
What? I'm just a bit excited.
About?
Han Solo movie.
Good.
Come on soon.
It is.
It is indeed.
Watch it.
Yeah, indeed. But anyway, sorry for the false start, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Love Hate Films, a show all about films, good, bad, and today, just bad.
Yeah, so Love Hate Films, whether you love them or hate them, this is a place for you. And we've already done our top 5 loves, and this is our top 5 hate show.
That's it. As I say, it's just a bit of a continuation. We thought, why not? We were supposed to be coming at you with a bit of an alternate schedule. We've got to be honest. We dropped a bit of a hint for one of us is going to love it.
Yep, one of us is going to hate it. That's not this show, but it will be the next one. We're working on that one as we speak.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, to drop a hint, we are viewing it at Errol Flynn Filmhouse. Well, a rendition off, shall we say. So
yeah.
That's a little Easter egg hint. See if you guys can get it. Maybe get on the website, have a look, see if you can guess which film one of us is going to love, one of us is going to hate.
Yeah, definitely. But back to the case in hand. So, our top 5 hates. So, starting at number 5, my 5th worst film of all time has got to be Grease. It's not because it's an evil film or a bad film or rubbishly made. It's well put together. It's good fun.
It is
family film. But the reason I hate it is because when I was a kid, my sister and I used to argue over who was watching what, and she invariably won. So I had to watch this film about 1,000,000 times when I was growing up. So that's the reason I hate it.
So for that very reason, Pete's summer nights were ruined.
Completely. My childhood has suffered because I've had to watch this film so many times.
So a bit of a suggestion for you then. Rewatch it, but watch it with this vision that at the end, they're actually dead, and that when they're driving up into the heavens, that's some sort of symbology. In fact, at the start, weren't they on about she nearly drowned?
I saved her life, she nearly drowned.
Maybe that's an Easter egg.
Don't know.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah, it's in one of the songs, isn't it? Yeah, splashing about.
I'm gonna be honest.
You know too much about it.
I'm gonna be honest. I have read a little bit of a fan sort of theory that indeed they are dead. Look it up if you want. But it's a thing out
ghosts
there.
And it's like their version of heaven.
Yeah, somebody's basically picked out all the little bits. You can put a spin on anything.
As to why the card just suddenly flies off at the end. What is that all about?
But it's also the whole thing of them at the very, very beginning. There was a scene where they're on the beach and it's a bit of a lovey bit. Not often shown in the film. And everybody forgets the opening credits as well.
No, because that was the Burt Lancaster film. They robbed that, didn't they? That was a scene direct from that. I can't remember the name of the film now. We'll put it in at the bottom.
We will.
But yeah, they robbed that from there. But anyway, I hate it because I had to watch it. I didn't want to watch it. I didn't like it because my sister liked it. That's why I hate it. That's my number 5. What about yours?
Well, my number 5 would have to be The Last Jedi. Sorry. What?
I was actually trying to think, was there a film called The Last Shit? I know, The Last Jedi, yeah.
The Last Defecation. Yeah. Yes, no, I guys, look, it's reached a point where therapy hasn't worked. I've been on tablets, I've had sleepless nights, sleepless summer night. I'm going to stop that now. But I really, really have lost sleep over this. It's recently come up on Sky Movies. Now, one thing that they do within the box is when something comes up as a new purchase, it's full across the screen. As if to remind me of the joys of that evening of having a lifetime of joy crush. But this is why we're looking forward to Solo movie. Hence the little skit at the front, at the beginning. Just,
yeah, Solo movie will be good.
But I don't know, for me, it was just poorly written, and it's something that I otherwise should have loved. So it's definitely in my number 5 hate.
Yeah, we've done the review of it, which we slated it pretty much. So watch that if you want a good laugh, because that's quite funny. I'm pleased with that one.
Yeah. So in at number
4. So my number 4 is Karate Kid, the remake, the 2010 version with Jaden Smith, is that his
Jaden
name?
Smith, yes,
And
wax
then-
on, wax off. The son of Jada Pinkett Smith and,
Will
of
Smith.
course, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Sorry, Bel-Air. Bel-Air. We're slating tonight, we really are, but...
Well, they are hates, so why not?
But
Stick
I
with the
totally
theme.
agree. I do totally agree. I mean, cast your typecast, you know, this... what were they doing? They jumped on 80s nostalgia and they shat on it for money.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Mr. Miyagi, you should have left him alone. He was good in the first one. You don't need to bring him back. And Jackie Chan, I like Jackie Chan, but he's not Mr. Miyagi. Shouldn't have done it.
That's
Should
it.
have just left well alone.
That's it.
Another part of my childhood ruined.
Pete's childhood nostalgia has been ruined by terrible 80s knockoffs. Please, don't allow it to continue. Show your support today at LoveHateFilms.com. Your support and generosity is greatly appreciated. Please, go to the website today. Thank you.
Sorry.
So, your number 4 then?
My number 4 is a little known film by the name of Gumbo.
Never heard of it.
Now, it's set in the sort of, I can't remember if it's the deep south of America. It had very, very obscure soundtrack, limited release, I believe it was Cannes Film Festival, maybe Sundance. All very, very, the film itself was low budget. The audio extract from it about a few years ago, a hurricane hit this place, was used in one of my favourite death metal bands, sort of, you know, monologues before they went into the song. It worked really, really well. It caught my curiosity. I watched the film, and I've got to say, I was sickened by it. There's just something very, very macabre, but very, very sickening about it. It leaves you with an overall just ill feeling. Can't describe, really, really can't describe, but it's actually almost like a physical thing. Almost you're incensed within it, which to a filmmaking standard is good. You want to be able to sensualise, to sort of experience what they're experiencing. In this case, it's a thumbs down, it's a no.
Okay. Well, I won't watch that then.
There we are.
So, number 3.
In at number 3, shall I kick this off, shall I?
Yeah, go on in.
My number 3 hate is a film called Begotten. Now, I am picking a little bit on lower...
Never seen it.
Again, never seen it. And again, tenuous link to a death metal band. Well, not death metal. Marilyn Manson used footage of Begotten in his video for, I believe it was Coma White. Don't quote me on that one. But it was supposed to be a metaphor film. It's shot in black and white, and it features just horrible, dark imagery. There's a scene supposed to depict some sort of religious iconography, the Virgin Mary, and it's just a person in quite a horrible saw-style mask in black and white, rocking in a wheelchair, devouring themselves. Now, it's silent, I believe, but they've added slight sound effects, and it's enough to make you sick. It might just be a little bit of swooshing, a little bit, sort of, but just for me, it turns my stomach. Don't like it. Don't like
watch
it.
that then.
Russell's my jimmies. Absolutely, I recommend have a look maybe for the Marilyn Manson video, because that will at least sum up one scene from it. There are far, far worse scenes, I will say that. So to that extent, be warned, if you can't hack the Marilyn Manson part, it gets worse.
Yeah, I don't think I'll look that up.
Yeah. But into your number 3.
Yeah, my number 3. I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I'm not really a slasher horror film fanatic. I do like them. I thought Scream was good. Scream 4, 5 and 6 and 38 were probably a bit too far. But for me, out of all of these, all of these Saw films as well, this was the worst out of all of them to come out, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. And then, to make it even worse, it was that popular they did a remake. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah, well, good. Why would you forget? Anyway.
I mean, what happens to the other seasons, and unless you have some sort of, concern regarding your memory, if you killed somebody, it's going to be fairly easy. There's people seek therapy for this sort of shit, so...
You're not going to forget.
You're not
Especially not 2 years later. Anyway, or even 1 year later.
But then again, did it not just try to jump on a bandwagon of, popular of the era? It was a very sort of 90s flick like that.
There was hundreds of those types of films out, and for me, this is the worst of them.
But the best pastiche, Scary Movie 2, because they do hint on it a little bit. Wasn't a huge fan of sort of the franchise as a whole. In fact, no, it wasn't too. Sorry, tell a lie. That was Exorcist. It was number 1. But not a huge fan of the franchise as a whole. But the pastiche of that kind of horror, I'm sure it's something that if you've not seen, you may even like.
Yeah, I've seen scary movies. They're all right.
Okay, fair.
So, number 2.
And in at number 2. I'll let you kick this one off.
Yeah, my hate again. I think there's a theme running through my hates, but it's Dirty Dancing. I just can't do with Dirty Dancing as a film. I don't like the songs in it, I don't like the romance, I don't like the dancing.
Nobody puts Baby in the corner.
Yeah, see, that's the only problem. I have found myself quoting that line on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
Even though I hate the film. So I suppose if everything bad's got one good thing in it, and that's got to be it then. But other than that, no, I don't. I can't stand Patrick Swayze in that either.
That's it. And I mean, I'm not really...
he was a tit in Roadhouse as well.
And I mean, I'm not really a fan of sort of hitting the town and seeing the cops, but I emulate the dad from the Grumpy Dad. Just the whole idea of, the youth of today. I don't know, but for me, yeah, absolutely, it is up there on my hate list. Probably not at the same level, but definitely one of them. I mean, I think of the Compare the Market advert, which...
Yeah, it takes him...
Oh, Masters of the Universe, the power of Grayskull, you fuckers. But anyway, we shan't talk about that. Dirty Dancing, I totally agree. You can put Baby in the corner. And what's more, Patrick Swayze, a little bit lecturous. How old are you, fella? We've already confirmed that she's going to a youth camp, Mind you, R.I.P., sorry,
Yeah, overall, he's a good guy. Let's not knock him.
He is. Point Break, as I say, is a favourite.
Yeah, there you go. So he's got one redeeming feature film.
That's it. And there was a good one with Rowan Atkinson, I believe, Saving Mum. Yeah. Something to that effect. Well, I'll pop it down in the description there, but definitely well worth a watch. An older Patrick Swayze as well. One of his last films, maybe debatably, but him emulating what the Hoff is trying to emulate now. Quite funny, quite tragic, but he was supposed to be that guy. Watch it.
Okay, look out for that.
Absolutely.
So, your number 2?
My number 2 is going to have to be Brazil. Now, we've talked about this, and what's more, I don't like dystopian film. Contrary to belief, I do like the idea of, world ending, some sort of apocalyptic mayhem, but there is a line for me that does draw a certain darkness that, for some reason, going back to this whole idea of experiencing a film, it makes me feel ill. There's a couple of ropey lines in it, which Terry Gilliam wrote. I believe it's his daughter, actually, that did the cameo of Show Me Your Willie, Big Boy. Although, stellar cast.
Yeah, it's got some good people in it.
A good concept to a film.
Yeah. Well, it's based on George Orwell's 1984. There is a better version, a truer version, called 1984 with John Hurt. Infinitely good film. And there are some ropey bits about Brazil. The way he escapes in Brazil, it's all in his mind, and he has this dream where he's like Icarus in a suit of armour flying too close to the sun, whereas in actual fact in the book and the other film they escape outside of the city and get to the country. So there's silly bits like that in it that I didn't like about it, and you're right, it's got a claustrophobic feel when in the office. It's very cramped, it's all artificial lighting, it's all horrible technology that doesn't work. But then that's the premise of the book. the book is incredibly accurate on the way that we live today. And
Exactly.
Big Brother is definitely watching us.
Absolutely, and I mean, even in terms of the idea of like the industry around, I happen to work in a building that doesn't look unlike something that you would see in 1984, and probably has people wandering around for something like that. But it's very, very bureaucratic, and it's just something daunting. Daunting, I think is the word.
Yeah. So I can see why you don't like it, and out of the things that we've mentioned, the three there, the book, the other film, this is the worst. And it's got a good cameo from Robert De Niro in it. He's brilliant in it as the
Of course,
plumber.
Bobby De Niro. Yeah,
But I think again that's probably that film's only redeeming feature.
absolutely. And speaking of Bobby De Niro, a little bit of a telling off for you, audience, because going back to a past episode, we talked about Bobby De Niro, and we were on about doing a method actor special.
Yep.
Yeah, alongside
And you were supposed to
Daniel
say
Day-Lewis.
the three that you wanted, Christian Bale, but you never did.
and you
Thanks.
naughty people haven't replied. But guys, please, please, please get commenting. Tell us how are we doing. What would you like to see? This is what we're all about.
Yeah, let us know.
But yeah, off of the subject of that, and back off of Brazil. Yeah,
Yeah, so not a great film.
not great.
I can see why. Then, finally, we are at the top number one hate.
Dum.
So for me, it's not one film, it's a collection of films, and it's all of the Twilight films. I cannot stand them. Trash, garbage, rubbish, whatever you want to call it, I don't like it.
No.
Previously on Love Hate Films.
Twilight tried to do it. They fucked it.
Yeah, we don't mention Twilight.
No. Thumbs down. May do a hate review on it at some point. But today,
Glowing vampires, get out of it.
and particularly the people that it actually attracts, because what's more, there are something somewhat of the romantic side of vampire stories out there. In fact, the original sort of Dracula, Bram Stoker, it's actually got an element of a love-esque thing about it, lovey lust, going on to Interview with a Vampire. Once again, great vampire film. Why make them sparkle? Why make them survive sunlight?
Yeah, if you want a teen vampire film, it's The Lost Boys. Don't go near Twilight.
Yeah, exactly. And as far as the cast goes, I'd say it just moody as all fuckery, I think is the quote. Can't be dealing with it. Really, really can't be dealing with it.
No, don't like any of them. Never appealed to me. Thought it was rubbish.
No. And speaking of the sort of audience it attracts, I believe this inspired 50 Shades of Grey. Little known fact, but there you go. 50 Shades of sucking something that isn't blood, you know.
Too far.
Too far, Tony, too far. Sorry, but no, seriously, the writer did write Twilight fan fiction.
Well, there you go. Says it all.
Can't remember her name, but there's a good reason for that. I'm not into gaffer tape and and blindfolds, but there you go.
So that's my number one hate. Anything Twilight film related.
Yeah.
So yours.
My number one, very, 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 very controversial, to the point where I cannot watch it anymore. Not one more time.
Not one.
The film is called a Serbian film.
Okay, I'm pleased that I have not seen this. I know of it,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I haven't seen it.
Yeah, as I say, I mean, we do, funny enough, a little bit of trivia for you here. We do one take. This is us. Like, we edit this slightly, obviously, for continuity, for a couple of pictures and everything else, but we do this in one take. We have a little bit of a chat before. We're good friends. We talk a lot, but I described this to Pete. I described it, and it did sicken you to the point where you were actually concerned even talking about it at points.
Yeah.
But fair play, and yeah, respectively so. It's going to be quite hard in terms of content. I know that we don't hold back on the language sometimes, but it is a grim film beyond proportions.
Yeah, there's a wiki page about it. If you want to read about it, I would suggest don't watch a film from what I've heard. from somebody that has seen it, will not watch it again. It's dark material.
Now, if you do watch it, you may ask, Wookie, why the fuck would you watch this? Perverse curiosity, guys. The film was meant to be an expression of freedom of speech and has actually been publicised as such. It's a it's the kind of thing that film studies, media studies students debate about. It's the kind of thing that's talked about because it's how do we influence, how far can you take that boat out to sea? And this, it takes it out, the motor goes and it drowns down the Mariana Trench and you don't know how far it's going. It's terrible. It is awful. The basic premise, from what I can possibly say, is a retired porn star, who is employed to do sort of one last flick. He's a bit of an alcoholic, drug addict, and a gangster approaches him, takes him in to do a bit of a shoot, and drugs him up. He wakes up not remembering much and starts to clue together a couple of pieces. Leads to quite a grim conclusion that essentially it's a snuff movie involving other elements which I won't go into. I mean, what the one bit I can say, the term skullfuck comes up quite literally. I shan't say any more.
Yeah, enough said.
But terrible film. I don't really see the point of how they try to push the boundaries. There's boundaries that can be crossed. I mean, Human Centipede, rather amusing, controversial film, but do you know something? Do the first, get the idea. Do the second, you're going a bit far. Do the third, you've gone. You're over the cliff. But for me, Serbian film, right out. Can't watch it. Can't do it.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch it at all.
So, summing it up, those are our top 5 hates. Let us know what yours are. Go to the website, create yourself a profile. It'll ask you what your top 5 loves are and what your top 5 hates are. And as ever, comment below. Follow us on Twitter at True Love Hate Film, and we're on Facebook as well.
Yeah. And as I say, guys, not to ever slight your audience, because believe me, guys, we are so appreciative of the love that you're showing. But why not participate? Tell us what you want to see.
Yeah, give us some comments and we'll reply.
Absolutely. Love or hate.
Definitely.
That's it. But guys, until next time, may the force be with you.
Always.